Hello. We are making a video together. My baby dog and I. He is on the floor next to the heater, as he usually is. And he likes to get warm in front of this nice heater. And I have the disco light on, looks really cool, illuminates my frog pond artwork on the wall and the other two amazing ones. And I have my fish jewelry on. You know, I wanted to do videos with my hand puppets and with my squishy ones. I have the large squishy ones. But baby dog would take that right out of my hand, so there's no way I can do videos with my hand puppets anymore. Yes, he's in the living room. I'm making a video. But at least the fish on the necklace, sort of. That'll be okay. He won't notice this. But I can play around with that a little bit. Hello. Absolutely love these things. Looks like I do this with my double chin. Looks like my skin now. Okay, you can walk by now. He had to knock on the wood in order for me to get him through. And now he's eating an ice cream when he has type 2 diabetes. Yes, that's what he does. And those ice creams, they don't taste very good. They taste so incredibly oversweetened. They don't even taste like the Häagen-Dazs. This is a good one. Quasimodo. Freak show. Double chin bubbles. Okay, so yeah, I meditated earlier and on the other couch. It's kind of bright. And I'm gonna block the light partly out so that way it's more calming for the brain. It's raining really persistently all day long, and I still have to go out and do some grounding. I don't know, I did some belly dancing earlier today. I made myself tea, herbal tea, a big mix of different herbs from the garden. It's still too hot, I can't drink. I have to wait until later. And I have to figure out a way to get grounded. Probably gonna have to take the garden chair and bring that in the greenhouse again, and then put my feet on the bare ground. But it's kind of difficult with the baby dog, So I'm probably gonna have to go under one of those big cedar trees next to the house, and I have to hold on with my hands onto the branches, and I have to stand there holding onto the branches for like 10 minutes. Get some tree water on me, but under the trees it's a little bit better than standing in the rain. The trees, they do give some protection from the rain, but it doesn't matter if I get some water from the tree into my hair and onto my sweater. So for 10 minutes I can hold on to the tree branches, and I've done that many times and it works. Okay, it gets you grounded, gets the grounding energy into your body, and it releases the lopsided energy tension out. So it balances out your energetic field in your body, your energy charge balances that out. I have to sneeze. Okay. So I love this really large balcony door. Yes, baby dog likes the heater. Love this big balcony door here. This is beautiful to sit right next to this balcony door and look out into the garden and have it nice and warm in here and cozy. And you can look into the trees moving with the wind and the rain out there, and it is almost dark outside and it's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what it shows. Looks absolutely gorgeous. I love it. So yeah, this is a regular balcony sliding balcony door. This one is old, probably from 1983 when the house was built. So they have much more insulated ones today, and the Amazing Homes by Paul McLean, they have these enormous patio doors that are like this door but huge. Sometimes they're like 14 feet high, and they're like 60, 70 feet long or even longer, and then they pull into each other, and then when they're very elaborate they pull all the way into the opposite wall and completely retract into the wall. And then even electronic, you just press a button and that thing opens all the way up to your swimming pool area, and then you have absolutely nothing between your indoor living space and your outdoor living space, and you can just walk back and forth. For children, this is a paradise. They come in with their wet feet into the house and crawl onto the couches after having been in the swimming pool. That would be problematic for me with my OCD, but that's fun. I can just envision how much fun that would be, to just have this enormous patio door that opens up and it just retracts into each other, the doors, and then retract into a wall where you don't even see the patio door at all anymore. You just have this wide open space, and you can sit in your living room and you just look out into your garden to your pool, and you can just walk out there during the summertime. This is really, really fantastic. And then in the winter time, that closes and is insulated, probably triple layer insulation, and you have it nice and warm inside. And they have these amazing fireplaces that are just electric fireplaces. They're simulation fireplaces. There is no mess, okay? There is no glowing embers coming out. You know, I am afraid of all of this. We have a fireplace at the other house. The other house is older. This house here is from 1983. The other house was built in 1930 when my dad was born, and they made homes, you know, even those like 2-bedroom houses, they made them with a chimney because that was their way of heating the house. So, and we have used that several times, that fireplace. But a lot of heat escapes out of that chimney. And the neighbor got really worried about these embers coming out, flying onto his roof. And he made Paul put some kind of protection thing on top of the chimney, so to make it safer. But then I would have just shut down the chimney altogether. That's what I would have done. I would not have used it anymore. I didn't feel safe with this in the beginning. One ember fell on Paul's shoe. Oh my gosh, that was scary. And he had to, I don't know what, he suffocated that ember with something, with some kind of blanket or something. Oh my gosh, that was really scary. And we had Kenny at that time, our albino Great Dane, and he didn't like it at all. When he turned the fire on in the fireplace, Kenny left the room and went all the way into the back bedroom and stayed there on the bed the whole time because he felt really uncomfortable with it. And we should have listened to him about this. You know, if Paul had listened to him, that would not have happened with that ember falling onto his shoe, you know, burning the shoelaces and all of that. Luckily, it didn't burn through the shoe, but could have happened. So I think these things are outdated. They're not necessary anymore. They're dangerous. And then there are also modern fireplaces where they're lit by propane and stuff like that, by gases or natural gases, and they have some of those also outside next to the pool. They look really nice, but I personally would not get one of those. I think they're very, very dangerous. So I'm a total fan of like this heater that we have here that has like a fake fireplace inside. That's just an animation, and it still looks nice and relaxing, and it has the fake smoke going up and flames, and that's very relaxing, and I like looking at it just as much as I like looking at a real fireplace. Matter of fact, I feel more relaxed with the fake fireplace, okay, than any of these indoor, or he has some outdoor fire pits where he likes to burn some logs, and I think he should keep these logs. We should make something out of it. We could make furniture for the garden out of those logs. We could cut them into individual pieces and we can tie them together. There are people that make furniture out of branches. I've already seen this. Our realtor's office has a lot of those. Our realtor, he works for a realtor, and he has his entire office building with these kind of furniture from someone who makes furniture out of collected branches and twigs, and I think it's absolutely fantastic to make use out of it in that way. I hope his dog is doing well. I felt sorry for his dog. She was usually sitting there by herself in this open area he had for her. I felt sorry for her. I talked to her, and she told me in her language, in her dog language, she told me that she was lonely, that he wasn't spending enough time with her. I felt sorry for her, really sorry. He took her onto property sometimes. If he made a video of the property to advertise it, he brought her along. But then most of the time she was in this area next to that realtor office. Not good. I would never do that, okay? I would always bring my dog with me wherever we go. Never leave my dog alone. Ever, 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 ever. Okay. My dog is my priority. My dog comes first, and whatever we do, okay, we figure out everything in our life around the dog and for the dog. So we always accommodate everything for the dog. Okay, that's what we do. Because the dog is our number one priority. The dog's our child, okay, our baby. And he's the most important being in my life. Yes, you are. Yes, you are the most important dogge god. Yes, that is what you are. And so, and it's not that difficult to figure out ways to accommodate everything towards and for the dog. Okay, so to make everything safe for the dog, not to have plastic pieces lying around. If you have electric cords like we have here, bundled up, bunched up, so many electric cords. He's already chewed some when we weren't looking. That taught us that we have to monitor him 24 hours per day. Okay, so because he loves to chew on electric cords. He's already destroyed some, and I'm so glad he didn't get electrocuted. Okay, that is very dangerous. Something is always itching me. My hair. I have this really fine hair that tickles me in my face. So that's why I have the haircut like this, because I cannot have my hair in my face. Like, I see some people have their hair like that comes down like this, and they always have to do this. That's so incredibly annoying, so unpractical. No, I like this very practical dork haircut. Works for me, you know. If someone has a problem with that, that's not my problem. So, yes, it is my German army helmet from Karl Dönitz. No, this haircut is fun. So, yes, you are my everything. You are my everything. I love you. You are my everything. Are you? Yes, you are my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Moo. He can go on the couch, but he likes to be in front of the heater. That feels the best. Because he has such short hair. And those pitty Staffy dogs, they have extremely short hair. They can never be left in a cold room or outside. So this is very, very important. Very important message for the world out there. Okay. Don't leave any animal in the cold. In some areas it gets very, very cold. Okay. Any dog, every dog, has to be in the warm house, protected, feeling safe, with their best friends, with their caregivers, and feeling safe and having the companionship. It's very important for dogs. They're herd animals, they're family animals. They have to be around other beings. Horses too, okay? Dogs and horses are extremely family oriented, and pigs too, and cows too, okay? You cannot have one animal by themselves standing there. I see that a lot. That makes me worry, whenever I see a bull or a horse standing alone on a meadow. Makes me cry. And then I go over there and I talk to them. Makes me cry. So infinitely sad. Animals need companions. Very, very important. I sat there earlier on the couch and the tears were running, and the reason why is because I was sitting there with my mental illness and with my OCD and with all of that, and mental illness thoughts that are irrational and stuff like that. And I'm listening to Jiddu Krishnamurti all the time, every day. And the message gets very deep inside of my mind. And the message is very, very clear. This is a very simple and clear and straightforward message that most people probably don't even understand. They hear this and they don't really know what to do with that, but it really takes your mind to listen to this a lot. Oh, thank you, Blue God. Toot. The Blue God said, yeah, this is the truth. I'm not making this up. This is really happening. Okay, the Blue God just said, yes, I give my approval to that message. I approve of that message, says the Blue God. And the Blue God is Jiddu Krishnamurti. And the Blue God is Gautama Buddha. Okay. And the Blue God is Helena Petrovna Blavatsky. Yes. That is the Blue God in different incarnations. And Kenny Redwood was one of his incarnations. And I'm infinitely grateful that he came into our life. I think about him a lot. He and the Papa, they're out there under the manzanita. And that manzanita, I think, is not alive anymore either. That manzanita is dead and sadly hanging the branches down over Kenny's grave. The Papa's grave is right next to him. And the baby dog already started digging on Papa's grave. The message from the Blue God is very straightforward. And that message is, I have to go into my own mind. Okay. I can't expect anything from anyone else. If something good comes towards me, if someone is nice to me, I am infinitely grateful. If good things happen, I'm infinitely grateful. Okay. Those are presents to us from the infinite. But I can't go out there and expect. I can't be entitled. See, a lot of people are entitled, including Paul. That makes me suffer when I see Paul in angry rants, angry, entitled, feeling wronged by me. I have to stop him when he does that, or he will continue to do it. He will go on for hours if I don't say this is enough now. He literally drives himself into that train of angry, shouting and feeling wronged and feeling entitled. You don't respect me, he says to me. That's entitlement. Okay. People need to earn their respect, first of all. There's a lot of things he does that make me mad too, okay, that make me frustrated. It's very, very difficult, but I can't go out there and expect anything from him. As much as he can't expect things from me, he can't expect from me that I am a wife, because I'm not. So, and this is very crystal clear. This was clear from the beginning on, and I have made that very clear to him. The reason why we got this contract, as I call it, I don't even want to call it by the name. I find it so awful, this whole thing. This is so incredibly bad and neurotic. And I'm never going to do it again, okay, for anyone. This is ridiculous, is that. That's religious, and that's it doesn't make sense. Okay, so no, we did that for financial whatever, tax and stuff like that. Not for the actual what other people use that for, so. And I told him in the very beginning, I told him who I am, what I'm doing. I said I'm an artist, I'm a free person, okay. I like open relationships, and for so long as I have not fallen in love with anyone. If I fall in love with someone, that changes, of course, so if I really fall in love with someone, then I can't have an open relationship, naturally. But I don't want a marriage. Ugh. 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 No, I don't want that. So, no, we're just friends, and this is very clear. And he thinks he's sort of betrayed by that, by that situation. And this is not good. It's not a good situation at all. But I don't know what to do about it. But I help him too. He helps me, I help him. We help each other. We put our minds together on things. Okay, that's important. He's my best friend in person. It's problematic a lot of times, but I appreciate him. And I can't expect anything. I can't expect from him to remember my OCD stuff and all of that. It's very difficult, so I can't expect him to not have ADHD. he has severe hearing impairment, and besides that he has severe ADHD as well, and he has entitlement and anger, and all of that coming together, and severe forgetfulness too. That's very scary. Forgetfulness, very scary. And that's very, very difficult for me to live with. Very difficult. But I can't expect him to be different. I can't expect for my life to instantly have a solution or a better situation. Okay. These are the challenges in our daily lives, whatever our challenges are. Okay. That make us grow, and that teach us things, and that teach us mindfulness, introspection, and patience. That's very, very, very important. To learn patience. Most people don't know how to learn or practice patience. That's what I see in the world. Patience is the number one priority on the foundation of making your life work, and also of building anything: wealth, health, strength, information, education, love. Patience is the foundation for it, absolutely. And I understand this now. I learned this from Jiddu Krishnamurti and also from Thich Nhat Hanh. Okay, he talked about this a lot. Breathing also, S.N. Goenka, the meditations, the Vipassana, the Anapana. Very, very important. And Arjanov, of course, who taught us a lot, a whole lot. And Tony Robbins. So Tony Robbins and Arjanov, they're kind of like two horses running a carriage. If one horse gets detached from the carriage and the other horse pulls the carriage, then the other horse is probably gonna pull the carriage in a lopsided direction a little bit, right? The carriage might even fall over. So, and vice versa. So both horses have to be in front of that carriage. And we also have to put Gautama Buddha onto the carriage, and Thich Nhat Hanh as well. So Gautama Buddha, which is Jiddu Krishnamurti, which is the infinite cosmos. So all of these horses are moving things forward in the world. And I recommend to never put a horse in front of a carriage. I should not even use this metaphor. It's a metaphor. Meta means outside, and for, I guess, comes from phonetics, or telling something, saying, an old saying, so meta means outside of that, what I'm actually saying, using an outside physical example as an example for that, what I want to portray in an abstract form, a concept that has to do with psychology and with the mind. So we often use physical metaphors in order to explain something. The horse carriage is not the best metaphor, because then people think it's okay to use horses for pulling a carriage, and it's not at all. So horses have been exploited in this way, and dogs are exploited in that same way. In Alaska, it's horrific to pull sleds, and it's like horses and dogs. They might some dogs are very, very strong. He's very strong. If this is a one-time thing, like pulling something for an hour, right? Like, because you have to, maybe it's an emergency situation, maybe you have to have this, I don't know, some kind of carriage or wagon, and of course the animal cannot be pulling something that's heavier than he can pull, of course. But if this is a one-time situation, where they can pull something for an hour and that is not too heavy for them, they might even like this. But what's happening in Iditarod and in New York is exploitation of animals, and that needs to be banned for sure. Horses are falling over into the street from exhaustion, and dogs have raw flesh under their foot paws from running on the ice in Alaska. It's unacceptable. Okay, all of this is unacceptable. I have to bring this up because it's very important to bring these things up. So, and this is part of my activism. I sign petitions all the time in this regard. Broccoli is so healthy. Paul is cooking soup now with broccoli. It's very, very good. Very good for us. And I've been eating very healthy lately. Eating a lot of oatmeal and making oatmeal smoothies, vegan. And staying away from white sugar and from animal products and from salt. And I eat raw also. Particularly at night, I eat coleslaw and salad, which is really good. And Paul makes this really, really fantastic veggie paste. That veggie paste gets 10 stars or 100 stars from me. 100-star veggie paste. Yes. He makes that with a food processor. He's gonna get a bigger one. And he makes that veggie paste that's vegan, it's raw, has garlic in it, and all kinds of vegetables, tomato, and yeah, he has been putting some salad dressing into it and some mayonnaise. But we had vegan mayonnaise for a while that we had bought like a whole lot, many boxes at the grocery outlet. So we had that for several years, and he used that for it, but now they ran out finally, so now he's using cheap mayonnaise which has eggs in it, but it's not bad, but it's still not vegan. You can make that vegan, fully vegan. You can put oats in it, but to make it even creamier, you can soak the oats for a couple of hours in water and then put that in with it. And then blend that together with the vegetables and all of that. Make a really nice veggie paste. That's like That's like your self-made herbal butter that's fully vegan, and you can put that on bread, use that as a sandwich base. He has put that on crackers earlier, and I couldn't stop eating those. I ate like, I don't know, I ate like 60 of those crackers with the veggie paste on. It tasted so good. That's also really great for a party, very easy to make. And you put that on crackers and you serve that to your guests. And together with Pellegrino, sparkling mineral water from the earth. So that's really nice to do that. So, and I've been watching these amazing homes, and they're really an inspiration. Particularly the ones from Paul McLean. Those are my favorite ones. And he is definitely the number one architect in the LA area. So he's the most popular one, and they all want a Paul McLean house. He's amazing. So because he has these humongous patio door sides where he brings the outdoors in. So he always talks about this, to bring the indoors out and the outdoors in, and to have absolutely no border between the outside and the inside. You just go in and out into the garden, back in the house, and in the kitchen. Amazing kitchens with nice kitchen islands that are huge, that have induction stoves on it, all kinds of amazing stuff on it, and like these really large simulation fireplaces, for example. Fantastic stuff, really fantastic. And all of that is also energy efficient stuff that they use. So many people have solar panels on their roofs that have Paul McLean house, that invites solar panels from Elon Musk, and they have plenty of space to hang up a wall-size battery for the house, or have an entire battery room with a whole bunch of batteries in it for an entire castle and mansion. Really great. So, but yeah, I wanted to talk about my meditation. I was sitting on the couch earlier, and I felt I was struggling with my mental illness. Oh yeah, I had 2 nightmares, one after another. The night before yesterday, at the other house, before we came back to this house, that night before we came back, I had, and my computer was in my room, so when I go back on the internet with my other Chromebook, the hackers are going to download every second, 24 hours of my life, and they're going to hear me scream in my night. I don't know, I woke up from the first nightmare. I don't know if I screamed, but I definitely woke up screaming from the second one. And after the first nightmare, I intuitively knew I was going to have another nightmare after that, in about an hour or two later. And I did. Horrific nightmare. And it's always the same thing. It's always the same theme, over and over and over and over again. And I know there's something cooking there. Okay, there's something going on. Now, this is very metaphysical, and this is very interesting and kind of scary and creepy, for sure. I always wake up more afraid of myself than other people. I always lift up in the air, like how do they call it? The incident on Golgotha? Golgotha, the mountain of Golgotha, out there in Israel. Jesus Christ going out there, I guess standing up or getting up from the grave, like a zombie or something, and then going out there onto that Mount Sinai or something, on Golgotha, and he goes up into the air with his arms lifted up to the sky. And there's a painting by Raphael that hangs in the Vatican that's called The Transfiguration of Christ. It's my absolute favorite painting of all paintings, from all paintings of other people's paintings. So that is my number one. Raphael gets the first prize for me, okay, from all artists in history. Okay. He is over voluming, over amplifying his hearing aids now, and they make screaming sounds, and that is really, that sounds really bad. Okay, it causes me mental illness. It causes me irrational fears and stuff like that when that happens. That's why I had a nervous breakdown one time, and I threw those things on the floor. And it got worse because of that. Much worse. It didn't fix anything. So, again, anger, and letting anger out and acting it out on anything, whether that's anyone, any being, or any object, is not the right path to do. Okay. We always have to remember that. Okay. We have to go into our own minds. We have no other choice, really. So that nightmare, all of my nightmares are about me going up into the air, like Jesus Christ on Mount Sinai or of Golgotha, whatever, in Israel. And that's very, very frightening, In the painting by Raphael, some of these people were frightened by that. So apparently there is a little boy of 12 or something, little teenage boy, who is very frightened of that situation of Jesus Christ going up into the air. And there's a beautiful woman in the front, absolutely gorgeous woman, who is looking at Jesus. Some of the men are looking at the woman, even though this amazing thing is happening in the background. But most people are looking in shock at Jesus Christ going up into the air, defying gravity. And that little boy has crazy eyes and is very, very frightened, pointing towards Jesus going up into the air. And I guess the woman in the front is his mother. I don't know if that is Mary Magdalene. That could be Mary Magdalene, actually. So, but she seemed very confident that things are all going the right way. But the boy was very, very frightened. And Jesus Christ himself was in a state of bliss as he's going up into the sky. In Germany they call it Christi Himmelfahrt. Himmelfahrt, which is coming up right now. So Christi Himmelfahrt is around right now happening. It's funny that I'm talking about this right now. It's about the end of February, the beginning of March somewhere. That's when they have this German like tradition. Families get together and they celebrate Christi Himmelfahrt, it comes from religion, of course, which is the celebration of Jesus Christ going up into the air. Himmelfahrt means the drive into the sky. That's what it means. So Christ driving up into the sky with his body. And I have these nightmares. For me, these are nightmares. And I don't know why I have these reoccurring nightmares of permanently going up into the sky, but this happens indoors too a lot. I go up to the ceiling. So in our ceilings are not very high, so I don't know, they're like 8 feet high. But I go up I go up like 3 feet. I bump my head on the ceiling, or my whole body goes up onto the ceiling, like in that horror movie, The Dance of the Devils. And for me, this is extremely frightening when that happens. There's nothing funny about it. Okay, when I have these dreams, I am frightened of myself. And I make these frightening sounds I make sounds that are there to scare other people. This is my Medusa that scare other people that I'm afraid of. And by scaring these other people with these ghost sounds, I'm becoming afraid of myself. And then I wake up from these ghost sounds and these horrific squeals and screams. And many times, Paul, before the hearing got really bad, he would wake up from that and he would come into my room and he would say, "Are you okay?" really loud. And then I would wake up, and sometimes I wouldn't even wake up. Sometimes he would actually have to shake my shoulders, and then I would wake up and I go, "Oh, what's going on? Where am I? Oh, I'm in my bed. There's Paul. What happened? You had a nightmare. You were screaming." And he would tell me many times. He would tell me you sounded like you were being tortured to death. And sometimes it echoed out of the window into the street. So we're on a hill here, and the street is downhill, and then it echoes across to the other side, to the other hill. The street is sort of like almost like a canyon road. And when that echoes out, then I'm extra nervous, and I think the neighbors heard me, and I feel extremely embarrassed. And I wonder if the neighbors heard me scream. And the other day, the neighbors there are not very far from our house, and their bedroom is just across from my bedroom. And up high, but they could have easily heard me. And I wonder if they did, because when I woke up, I started to hear them talk. It was in the middle of the night. It was like 2 or 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. They weren't getting up yet. So I heard them talking. So they probably woke up, and I feel extremely bad and for them that I woke them up with that. And they don't know what's going on. They don't know that I have these nightmares, and if they knew, they want nothing to do with me, of course. But that's okay. I can't worry about that. So yeah. So I'm very multifaceted. Okay, I just wanted to mention this, for anyone. Oh, 7-Eleven. Thank you, Blue God. Thank you. That's cool. That's very cool. 7-Eleven means we're making it. we're making it in every way, financially too, health-wise, in every way. Thank you, Blue God. That's super. Super, 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 super. Yes. And I send out sunbeams of love. Okay. I'm multifaceted. I have a Medusa inside of me. I can get into many different mental states. These are not separate personalities. There's only one soul in this body. But I can be in I can have many different mind states according to the situation. I react differently to different stimuli, to different situations, of course. And when I'm threatened, my Medusa comes up. And it gets very, very creepy, very fast. Okay, so this is there. It's also there to protect us. And I have also been attacked psychically. Okay, and I can feel this at night sometimes. I talk to them. When I'm awake, I talk to them. So and sometimes I cry, but I talk to them. But when I'm sleeping, my Medusa will come up. If when I'm sleeping and I get psychically attacked by someone, and that happens sometimes, that can induce a nightmare like this. And I dreamed about this woman who was under drugs, and she fell into some kind of container. She fell into a large container that was full of water. And there were people out there. There were other people that pushed her in. And I didn't know how to help. I was in a total panic and didn't know how to help. And she drowned. And she came back up as a zombie. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible nightmare. And then I left there. And then later on I was at my mother's horse barn. And that zombie lady appeared there among other people. And I tried to hide myself from her, but she saw me. And she was gonna come over. And I felt like she was gonna try to kill me for not protecting her, for not guarding her from these other people pushing her under the water. This was a life and death situation. I could not help her because I felt threatened by those other people. They could have hurt me too. Just wanted to get away. I was also disgusted by this whole thing, and I could never be a nurse, for example. I could never do first aid or something. And then I felt like she had entitlement, which a lot of people have, And maybe I picked up some energies from some of my haters that may have induced that particular dream. Okay, I don't know if the haters are all men. Maybe some of them are women. I don't know. I don't know all of these people. Okay, so and they definitely want to get even for me making them feel bad incidentally. I never meant to make them feel bad. So they want to get even for something that doesn't even exist. Okay? They want to get even for nothing, for something incidental that was never meant to cause them any problems. And they're entitled. Okay? They have huge entitlement, and see that a whole lot. And that's the ego. That's when people are not going into their own minds. That's when they're in a state of expectation. They're expecting other people to fix everything for them. If they're drug addicts, to rescue them. If they're being attacked by people that they got involved with, to come in there and throw your life in there and rescue them. They feel entitled to all of this. And if you don't do this, they want to get even. Even for something you never even did anything wrong. Okay, so they want to get even for their imaginarily being wronged. Okay, so for imaginarily being wronged, they want to get even because they have entitlement. And I sense this all the time. So this person in my dream had this entitlement. Okay, the video is very long. And I wanted to protect myself. I felt threatened by her, and my Medusa came up, and I went up into the air. And I started to threaten her with these ghost sounds, which were sounds kind of like a wild animal who feels very threatened, like a bobcat feeling very threatened. They can make very creepy sounds. Okay, and because they have a Medusa also, they have to to protect themselves from bears and other large animals. So yeah, and these sounds, they had a message, and the message was, don't come any closer, or I will become very frightening and creepy. So she was creeping me, I was creeping her. And then I went up towards the ceiling, which was very high in this large barn, much larger than the actual barn of my parents. So, and then as I was going up to the ceiling and it was also difficult to go up with that heavy weight. It was difficult. I was pulled down by gravity, and it was difficult for me to keep going up. But I needed to do it. And I woke up from my own screams, of my own creepiness screams. Absolutely horrific. Ugh, it's always like, I don't even want to imitate it. I don't. But maybe the hackers will get to hear that. If they listen to that entire 24-hour video recording that Google illegally has in these Chromebooks, the spy cameras. So spy recording programs, they're using the same camera but being recorded onto some other thing that they have in there, another electronic device that they have in there. Okay. Which is illegal, which is wrong. Okay. Yes, you are knocking on the door. You cannot be seen. So, okay, I want to wrap this video up. So I sat on the couch and I was thinking about all of this, what went on lately, feeling exhausted, mental illness and all of that. And yes, we are wrapping up the video now, my baby. And so as I was sitting there on the couch looking at my artwork, I was thinking about another dream that I had before, where an extraterrestrial came to Earth in this really, really amazing car, a floating rocket car. And he took me, he was dressed like a woman, and he had long blonde hair, kind of like Jeffree Star, but bigger. And wearing high heels and all of this. I'd never even be friends with anyone who wears high heels. But somehow this extraterrestrial guy took me onto the passenger seat, closed his rocket car, and shot off into the sky with me in this car. And in just 10 minutes or so, we got to his planet. And the car landed and drove into his house. Humongous house, like a house like Paul McLean's and Brian Foster and Zaha Hadid, all combined, and even more extravagant and huge, and everything was glowing. Everything, every wall, everything. There was there was glowing cement like gemstone walls, and everything was glowing and sparkling and lit up, and had monitors of stuff happening and glitter and incredible stuff, incredible home. I was just sitting there with my jaw literally falling down, like, incredible. So then I was sitting on the couch and I was thinking about that dream. That was a nice dream. And so when we got to his house, he took his female clothing off, and underneath was a regular guy with long hair. And he said, I tricked you. I just wanted to look like a woman to trick you, to lure you in. I guess I kind of got that from Starshine and all these hacker type of people, these hater kind of guys who are, each of them has a woman's account that's also their account, and they have a male account and a female account, and they interact with each other, and they lure women in through that. I don't know how they lure women in, because it didn't lure me in, so yeah. But it kind of went over into this dream. So I think that's where I picked that up from. But in that dream, this was an actuality, so that guy was sort of shape-shifting, kind of. And yes, you are my everything. Yes. And so, and he said, I rescued you. I brought you to my house and on another planet, and I rescued you because I saw you were suffering. And then I woke up from that dream. So I was thinking about that dream on the couch, and I thought, okay, what if I go up to another planet with an extraterrestrial, or with several extraterrestrials, and they want to do some tests on me, but not invasive, they want to find out more about me psychologically, they want to know how we're thinking and all of that. And I want to help, I want to help them with their research. I want to give as much information as I can. I'm very grateful to them. And I was envisioning that they would ask me some questions like, why do you have these I don't know how to word myself correctly. Why do you have these self-depressing or self-doubting thoughts? Why do you have these unempowering thoughts? Why do you have thoughts where you feel like you are puny? Why do you have those kind of thoughts? And why do you have this jealousy? Why do you always feel like if you are surrounded by beautiful women, why do you feel like you are not beautiful, you know? So they will ask me these kind of questions, and the moment I was thinking that, the tears were just coming, running and running and running and running. Okay, I'm gonna end the video here. Peace and love and sunbeams of love for all living beings.